You're tired. Look at you, chest heaving, eyes heavy. You're staring at the wall, negotiating with yourself. You're actually sitting there, doing the math in your head, trying to figure out if you've done enough for today. Trying to find a logical excuse to pack it up, walk away, and go back to being comfortable. It's pathetic. Really, it is. But it's also fascinating. You see, I've watched countless people hit this exact wall, this precise moment where the novelty of the goal wears off, where the motivation you woke up with suddenly evaporates. Your muscles are screaming. The physical weight feels heavier than it did yesterday. The mental exhaustion is setting in. And that little voice in the back of your mind is begging you to quit. And you're listening to it. You're actually considering it. Why? Because it hurts? Because it's hard? Listen to me very carefully. If it were easy, everyone would be a special grade. If it didn't physically break you down, if it didn't demand every single ounce of your sanity, then the people you walk past on the street every single day would already have it. You asked for this. You stood up, puffed out your chest, and said you wanted to be the strongest. You said you wanted to change. You said you were going to build something untouchable. And now, the universe is handing you the exact amount of suffering required to buy that outcome. And you're complaining about the price? People look at me and they see the 6 eyes. They see the limitless. They see a prodigy who was born with the world in the palm of his hand. They say, oh, it's different for Gojo Satoru. He was blessed. Blessed. What a convenient little word weak people use to excuse their own mediocrity. They don't see the mechanics underneath. They don't see the sheer, mind-breaking repetition. They don't want to think about what it actually takes to run a limitless technique through a human brain without frying your own circuits 24 hours a day. They call it talent because if they admit it's obsession, it means they have no excuse for being weak. I didn't get here just because I had potential. Potential is garbage. Potential is a word for things that haven't happened yet. I am the strongest because when the pressure tried to crush me, I didn't close my eyes and brace for impact. I opened them wider. What about you? What happens when the pressure hits you? When the muscle fibers physically tear under the weight? When the lungs burn? When the project completely falls apart at 3 a.m.? What is your default setting? Do you shrink? Do you start looking for a way out? Do you start telling yourself, I'll try again tomorrow? Tomorrow doesn't exist. There is only right now. Right now is the only place where power is generated. Power isn't built on the days you feel good. Anybody can execute when they slept 8 hours, ate perfectly, and the sun is shining. That's baseline. That's the bare minimum. Growth true. Monstrous, undeniable growth is only forged in the exact second you want to quit. Let's talk about that pain you're feeling right now. Let's break it down. You think the pain is a signal to stop? Your nervous system is sending panic signals to your brain, telling you that if you do one more rep, if you work one more hour, if you push 1 millimeter further, you are going to break. Let it break. Break the muscle. Break the threshold. Break the pathetic, fragile limitations you've placed on yourself. You are a biological machine designed to adapt to stress. If you stop the moment the stress gets uncomfortable, you are denying your own evolution. The pain isn't an enemy. The pain is a compass. It is pointing you exactly in the direction of the person you said you wanted to become. When I fought Toji Fushiguro, my throat was crushed. My body was ripped open. By all logical medical standards, I was dead. The pain was absolute. It was everywhere. But in that exact moment when the blood was pouring out of me and the world was fading to black, I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel pity for myself. Do you know what I felt? I felt the core of cursed energy. I felt the pulse of the universe. I felt high. I looked at the absolute brink of destruction, and I smiled. Because I realized that everything before that moment was just a warm-up. The real fight, the real ascension, only begins when you have absolutely nothing left in the tank. That is the high of the struggle. That is the adrenaline that you are trying to run away from. You are standing on the edge of your own awakening, and you're thinking about taking a nap? Wake up. Look around you. Look at the people who are telling you to take it easy. You're working too hard. You need balance. You're going to burn out. Do you know why they say that? It's not because they care about you. It's because your obsession makes them violently uncomfortable with their own laziness. When you push past the brink, you shine a massive spotlight on everyone else who stopped halfway. Your discipline is a mirror that reflects their failures, so they will try to pull you down. They will try to make you normal. But you and I both know you weren't meant to be normal. You need to embrace the isolation. When you drop your domain, everything else vanishes. The noise, the opinions, the distractions, the comfort, it all gets erased. It's just you and the target. Nothing else exists. Can you do that? Can you isolate yourself in the work? Can you spend hours in the dark, tearing yourself apart and putting yourself back together, while everyone else is out partying, scrolling, wasting their lives away? It gets lonely at the top. I know that better than anyone. When you become untouchable, there are very few people who can stand beside you. But let me tell you a secret about that loneliness. The air up here is incredibly clear. You stop caring about the opinions of sheep the moment you realize you're a monster. So let them talk. Let them judge. Let them tell you it's impossible. You just keep feeding that negative energy into the machine. Compress their doubt. Compress your own failures. Compress every single time you were told you weren't good enough, and turn it into raw, concentrated output. So, here we are, back to right now. Back to you, sitting there, feeling sorry for yourself. I'm only going to ask you this once. Are you going to be a victim of your own ambition, or are you going to become the master of it? Because the clock is ticking. Every second you spend hesitating is a second someone else is using to close the gap. Someone out there is hungrier than you. Someone out there is operating on less sleep, with fewer resources, carrying a heavier burden, and they are not stopping. Are you going to let them beat you? Are you going to let the weakness in your own mind dictate the reality of your future? No. Absolutely not. Stand up. I said stand the hell up! Feel the exhaustion in your bones. Feel the ache in your muscles. Let the heaviness wash over you and then laugh at it. Look the struggle dead in the eyes and smile. Tell it that it's going to have to try a lot harder than that to break you. Tell your mind that you are no longer taking orders from fear. You are the one driving this vessel. Push past the brink. Find that adrenaline. When you feel like you are going to die, do one more. When your vision blurs, focus harder. When the weight feels immovable, tear the fibers of your being to lift it anyway. This is where you evolve. This is where you become a completely different species of human. Right here, right now. In the pain, in the suffering, in the beautiful, agonizing high of the grind. Throughout heaven and earth, you alone must honor your own potential. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to do the work for you. It's just you. So stop complaining, stop stalling, smile, and go be a monster. You're hyped now, aren't you? Your heart is beating faster. Your pupils are dilated. You feel like you could punch a hole straight through a concrete wall. You've got this burning fire in your chest, and you're telling yourself, this is it. I'm finally going to change. Don't make me laugh. Motivation is a cheap parlor trick. It's a dopamine hit. It's a fake rush of cursed energy that disappears the moment the environment gets cold. Anyone can be a monster while the music is blasting and the adrenaline is pumping. But what happens tomorrow morning? What happens at 4:30 a.m. when the alarm goes off? It's pitch black outside, and this video is no longer playing in your ears. What happens when it's just you, the freezing cold floor, and the suffocating weight of everything you have to do? Does the monster go back to sleep? Does the special grade mentality suddenly downgrade because you're a little sleepy? If your power relies on a playlist, you are fragile. If your discipline requires you to feel good, you are a victim of your own mood swings. True strength is completely independent of emotion. I don't keep infinity running around me because I feel like it. I keep it running because if I drop it for a single second, I leave my blind spots open. Discipline isn't a hype train. Discipline is a permanent domain expansion. You lock the barriers, you trap your target inside, and you execute. No hesitation, no negotiation, no days off. You want to know the ultimate formula for power? You want to know how to blast through a plateau that has kept you trapped for years? You have to learn how to weaponize the negative. Look at your life right now. Take every failure, every rejection, every time someone looked at you and didn't see any value. Take the heartbreak. Take the anxiety. Take the utter disgust you feel when you look in the mirror and realize you aren't where you're supposed to be. That is your blue. The raw, pulling, destructive force of negative emotion. Most people let it crush them. They let it drag them into depression. Now, take your obsession. Take the blinding, violent desire to be at the absolute top. Take the vision of the body you want, the empire you want to build, the freedom you are craving. That is your red, the explosive, pushing force of your ambition. Now, smash them together. Take the trauma and the ambition and forcefully combine them. You don't ignore the pain. You use it as the fuel source for the obsession. Imaginary technique, purple. When you combine absolute rage at your current situation with absolute obsession for your future, you create a momentum that literally erases obstacles from reality. The excuses disappear, the fatigue vanishes, the opinions of the weak are utterly obliterated. You become an unstoppable, moving disaster. And the best part? The world has no choice but to get out of your way. In a few seconds, this video is going to end. The screen is going to go dark, the music is going to fade out, and the silence is going to return. That silence is your real battlefield. In that silence, you are going to make a choice. You are either going to click on another video, scroll to another post, and look for another cheap hit of fake motivation. Or you are going to put the phone down, look reality dead in the beautiful, terrifying six eyes, and finally go do the work. I have given you the blueprint. I have shown you the mechanics of the strong, but I cannot walk the path for you. If you want to stay at the bottom, stay there. It's crowded, it's comfortable, and you will fit right in with the rest of the failures. But if you actually want this, if you are finally ready to stop playing games and start demanding your place at the top of the food chain, then prove it. Shatter the limit. Burn the backup plans. Leave everything you have on the floor today. I'll be waiting for you at the top. Don't keep me waiting too long.